Hello there, gang. DD DeVere here, playing a little bit of Welcome to Hanwell. A survival horror, I guess. So let's see what we get, shall we? Setting-wise. So you've got a few visual settings. Don't see any audio settings, but you do have key rebinding. Can be played with a controller by the looks of it, but I am playing with mouse and keyboard. And a bit of an odd system. If you want to modify a key, you have to tick it. Well, I've got everything set up the way I want it at the moment, so let's just dive on in with a new game. It's checkpoint-based saves only. You get a choice of difficulty level, easy or normal. Now, there's not much of a difference between the two in all honesty, so I'll pick easy and I'll explain what the difference is as we go. So of course you wake up in a spooky basement with amnesia. It is the Unreal 4 engine, so visuals are pretty damn good. Environmental props are very nice, very well done.
I used a combination of anabolic steroids and insulin to initiate the subject. He exhibited an intense reaction to the drugs.
Well, who doesn't, eh? Enough about my weekend, let's get weaving. This is just your basic tutorial type thing here. We do have shift. There is a sprint meter, but it's pretty generous in all honesty. Even get duck back again. Unfortunately, no jump.
I've had to look away at B6.
So you usually go around, find documents and voice recordings to tell you the story.
Research notes of 10/07/2021.
And of course you've got a panic cam. When you're not running, it just acts as a little zoom.
The goddamn savage bit me. He's lost all.
So now the game proper sort of almost starts. A few more little tutorial bits to go through. Does this irritating slowdown thing just tells you you've got an inventory system. And a more important one is our torch here. The flashlight, press F to equip, all pretty straightforward. Use the flashlight only when it's too dark to see. Overusing a flashlight will lead to it to malfunction and may cause it to break completely. You can find some batteries in game to repair it, but what a stupid mechanic, really. You literally have to walk around like you're a lighthouse, just flicking on and off. So you get a generous amount of sprint, but not a very generous amount of torch. It's just what you want in a horror game. I mean, I suppose it's better than the usual running around looking for batteries all the time, but not by a lot. Let's see where this chap's off to. I don't know why I'm being quiet. He's not going to hear me. Not as such. And off we go. Sometimes it chases you, sometimes it doesn't. Now here's one issue though with the AI. Now he's catching up. Now he's having a go at it. If he kills me and I restart from the checkpoint, there's a good chance he'll be gone. It's very bizarre the way this game handles AI at times. If you get killed in the open world section, and you restart from a checkpoint, the AI that killed you usually comes torpedoing in straight in on you to have another go at you. So, some very random choices of mechanics in this game. So we're now in the overworld section. And our next item here, you'll definitely understand the aspirations this game has a radio. So it emits static when the anomalies are the names of the enemy types in this game, are nearby. And combat. Right click to block, apparently. We'll see why that's pointless very shortly when we try some combat. So blaring sirens, radios giving static when enemies are nearby, and clunky combat. Basically this game wants to be Silent Hill. So that's a burner. There's not actually that many enemy types in the game, in all honesty. Got the burners here, some spiders, a witch, which is incredibly annoying to fight, for sure. And then there's the darkness, which is, you probably won't get to see it. It's a little cloud that when it hits you, it makes everything go dark, and you get this little strange sonar ability. So here we go, combat. Our combat reach is exactly the same. Its combat reach is the same as mine, so you're just better off circle strafing and spamming your left attack as fast as you can. And hope you don't get overwhelmed by too many. Because unfortunately, it's not too bad at this part of the game, the very opening, but after you do your first point of interest, you'll get spammed by quite a few hostiles at a time. Trying to fight two or three of those witches is, rage-inducing. So you expect to die a lot in the open world section. You can't really stealth by them as they often get spammed in on top of you. So here's another bizarre mechanic. This is a point of interest. If I try to enter it now, this building is protected. You cannot enter with a weapon. For some reason, you can't take weapons in with you. Why? No idea. And weapon distribution in this game is wacky as hell. So this is the doctor's house. Spooky.
I've just got word that you've authorized the arrest of Isabel Miller. I'm going to need a copy of the arrest warrant you signed. A few of our residents who are familiar with your work have expressed concerns that you may be abusing the authority I have given you.
So you've probably guessed it from the accents and the props around. This is set in the UK. So that means weapon-wise, no firearms, only melee weapons. Which is rather odd, because I know lots of people who have owned a shotgun, and I myself have my shotgun licence. But nope, melee only.
Daniel, I'm growing concerned with the doctor's action. I know you work closely with him, but I'm also certain of your loyalty to our residents. Keep me posted on his latest research, will you?
It's mostly devolves around to just collect key and open safes. And of course there's collectibles. You can collect, once you collect them all, you can get extra improved weapons. The problem is you have to pretty much play through to the end of the game to collect all the collectibles. So by the time you unlock the weapons, you'll have nothing to do with them. You'll have completed the main game by that point. So the main game itself, if we look at this letter, you have to find these parts of Isabel Miller's citizenship card. There's herself in the jail, Sam Nichols in the church, Taylor Walsh in the hospital, Walt Young in the power plant, and Brett Chambers at the school. So they're your main places you need to go. Collect the card. Once you have all the pieces, you can then enter the council building at the end for the big finale and showdown.
Daniel, I am currently at the council building and will remain here for the foreseeable future. I cannot stress enough how important it is that you remain inside my home. Keep the doors down and prepare for all types of anomaly. I promise your loyalty to the cause will be rewarded, and it starts tonight. Tonight, the council will fall.
So the council will fall. But why? No idea. That is one area this game is so weak as a story. Utterly generic. This doctor, for some reason, no one's motivations are ever explained. You'll also get the feeling there was supposed to be more characters from some of the audio recordings and things you'll find later on, but none of that's ever developed. Very, very bizarre. So we might as well get weaving on to the next part. So we have completed our mission here. The first thing you'll notice, our axe has gone missing. Press M to open the map. So let's have a look at our map. Piece of Miller's citizenship card is known to be in the church. Jolly good. Wassad to move. You've got to zoom in. Just wait for the final message. There we go. You're now free to explore, blah blah blah. Just tells you to go collect all the pieces of the card, which you've already figured out if you've read the clues. I mean, I guess they're making sure. So this is basically the one difference between hard and easy. Or normal, I should say, normal and easy. Is these houses are marked, these locations. If you was playing on the normal, they would not be marked. You have to go up. Once you find the door, then it becomes marked on your map, but not until. I mean, you can go and look in some of these locations, but for the most part, it's just collectibles in there. If it's not one of the main places, it's mostly collectibles. There are some nice little horror twists in some of them, so it could be worth your time to have a look around. But as you see with the combat, it can be quite grinding just to push your way across the streets. You can't really stealth, as a lot of the time the AI will be dumped in on top of you. Even if you see it, sometimes you can stealth by them, and sometimes they'll just come zoning on you, straight in on you. You see what I mean about weapon distribution? Now I've got to go and hopefully find something laying around. There's no specific place to collect them. They just get randomly dumped in the streets. So you can come across loads of weapons in a go, such as a baseball bat, a wrench, then a sword. Or you might find absolutely none. I mean, you've got this much AI. It's not too bad at the moment because it's early game, but after we complete the first point of interest, you will get a lot of AI wandering around. So yeah, the weapon distribution. Ah, there we go. Cricket bat. Bat of some sort. Is that? No, it's just a bit of junk. So yeah, they definitely could have done something better with either working a better stealth mechanic, these just act as little save points, or a more reliable way of collecting weapons. That is a nice, fairly big area. It's quite well fleshed out. I'll give them credit where credit's due. If you like collectibles, there's lots of places to go looking for them. If that's your bag, man. Just so many bizarre mechanic choices. Especially that torch one. Oh, yes, of course, got to drop the... So the power plant, our first key card point. So it's really a game of two halves. These act as the points of interest as your more traditional horror tropes. I don't know what that flash... Well, that's worrying. I don't know if that's coming out in the video or not. There's some... It's going to keep flashing white for a few minutes there. Yes, these are actually your more typical horror tropes. You might expect some puzzles and such here, but there's not.
Walter, I need you to set up the auto power contingency. At 8 p.m. tonight.
I want to give you a quick pro tip here, because I should have mentioned this earlier. There's your... Again, the inventory system. I'm not sure why, but if you pick up a key, if you press E, you can add it to your key ring. Press E again, it adds it to the... That's not mentioned anywhere. But the carrying capacity, there's not enough stuff in the game anyway to carry, in all honesty. Yeah, you get a feeling that they definitely had lofty ambitions, but didn't quite make it for some reason to the game they was hoping it would be. undeveloped characters. So here's your typical, you might go and try and find a puzzle in these sort of areas, but the puzzles themselves are very... Witch's Tit, another collectible. They're very limited, shall we say. It basically devolves down to find key, find a computer with a password, or find a number to unlock a safe. But there's no real in-depth puzzles you'd expect in your typical Silent Hill or Resident Evil style game, which this game desperately wants to be. But they do have some excellent horror moments going on when you're at these points of interest. I've got to give them credit there. They've got some really good ideas. Some really good spooky moments going on. And it's not quite the Silent Hill it wishes to be. So here it is. It's just literally turning some valves. There's no guiding the steam down a specific path of pipes or anything like that. But they could have put in here. Yeah, there's no real in-depth puzzles. Certainly the audio design and the music in this game is absolutely excellent. It has to be given credit for the credit's due there. Voice acting is also, for the most part, pretty good. Funny enough, the weakest one is the Doctor. It's the main antagonist. But some great audio work, some really good ambiances. So not that this is a bad game. But they certainly, I think, could have a little bit more effort, maybe especially made stealthing more enjoyable, or made the combat more smoother. Because yeah, I've never bothered with the right mouse button to block, 'cause it seems pointless. So attack distances are all the same. This, especially this torch mechanic, what were they thinking with that? As far as I know, if you do break it in a point of interest, you can just load back out and then come back in, and it seems to work. And if you do find the couple of batteries that are kicking around to fast repair it, they're in the houses that you find on the map. But yeah, it's bizarre mechanic choices. And of course, jump scares. In fairness, they don't get too heavy with the jump scares. They've realised, they work best when used sparingly, rather than spamming 10 of them in a row at you. In fact, there was one jump scare that actually got me quite good. I was not at all expecting it. At least weapon. In fact, it was that one. First time that happened, man, I was backpedaling like a little girl. So it doesn't rely on them, luckily. That's it. We should be just about done here.
Walter tells me the plant is running at optimal capacity. Even providing a surplus of power we can sell back to the Ministry. This is a direct result of my research, and still people are questioning my ethics.
See there, what he's working on some super batteries or something? Is that his motivation? No, it's very... Oh, and you also notice I haven't got any static playing at the moment. Because when you load in and out of different areas, it turns the bloody radio off. Let's just see, has that found me? See, it's pretty much torpedoing in. Let's just go for a run, I think. So the amount of times you'll forget to turn your radio on. Why would you ever turn off the thing that lets you know when you're in danger? Again, just strange mechanics. Once you pick the radio up at the beginning of the game, it should have just left it permanently on. Oh, well, between a rock and a hard place now. You'll also notice you do at least have regenerating health. Oh, good. So keep trying to push Can't really push by, so it's literally just spam as fast as you can. I think this is the way out anyway, so we shall soon conclude our dealings here, I think, gang. So the music's all very dramatic and excellent. That all fits very well. Just so many bizarre mechanics and choices. The in-game performance is pretty good, although it does sometimes take a long while to fire up. And loading can also be a bit random. Sometimes it takes a while to load. Mostly it's good. There's some more collectibles over there if you're into that sort of thing. At least we've got a weapon on leaving this building, but it's the only time it happens. But yeah, it seems like there was a one of the houses, there was an extension for my flashlight. It gives it an ultraviolet fitting to let you see UV, but you only use it once in the entire game, and that's just to gain access to a room with some collectibles in it. That was pretty much it. So many wasted opportunities in this game, really, in all honesty. So yeah, we'll conclude our dealings here, gang. There's also a day and night cycle. I don't know if we'll probably get to see it here, but see, now I've got the radio's off, and you'll see there's no indicators to tell you. Same with the torch. The only way you'll know the torch is going if it starts flashing. There's no indicator to tell you when the radio's on or off. Nothing there. Yeah, it's just some very bizarre choices let this game down. It's a bad game, but it's certainly not Silent Hill that it wants to be. Limited enemy types, and as you saw, the enemies themselves aren't as good as the rest of the environmental props. Excellent audio, pretty good voice acting, weak sort of story. It really is so predictable. No one's motivations is ever covered. I mean, why am I trying to stop the Doctor? What the hell do I care? I mean, as far as I can see, the guy's just doing some sort of power generation. So, yeah, definitely storytelling is not quite the same level that Silent Hill would be. See, now it's now daylight. All that does is remove the tension. And enemies will tend to be spammed quite in on you quite a lot. So yes, this was Welcome to Hanwell. Apparently they've just released another game. The spiders. And based on my experience in this one, I probably won't be buying the other game up until it's on a sale. Yeah, you generally get spiders usually come in multiples. We've quite a few multiples this time. But yeah, that was the combat. So yeah, it's not that it's a bad game, but especially the points of interest, the lack of any puzzle elements. It's a bit of a wasted opportunity. I probably because it's £15. You probably might want to put this one onto a sale. No matter how good the audio is, it's just a missed opportunity in all honesty. But not a bad game. Just it could have been better. So anyway, all. Yeah, what? Sorry, that's thrown me completely off. Thank you for taking time to watch the video, and hope you found it useful and entertaining in some way. As ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're alive. And I shall see you all next time. Bye for now. Good grief, see what I mean about spamming enemies on you? You see there, just sort of spammed it in on top of me. Oh wow, we kill traded. Oh well, in that case, bye for now.